Hello, Aline. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So, tell me us about yourself. Who are you and what brought you here today? I mean, you can do a lot of things and you decided to spend it with me, so I'm very honored. So, tell me about who you are and what brought you here today.
So my name is Aline. I'm from Brazil. I recently launched a smart energy drink. So power coffee. And this is how I ended up meeting you because of my new product. And when we were talking about and when I was explaining you the product, you invited me to be here today. And I thought it was a great opportunity to get to explain to more people because this smart energy drink concept, it's very popular in Brazil, but it's not really popular here yet in the UK or in Europe. So I just wanted to take the chance to talk about it and start getting people familiar with it because I'm sure when people discover, they will fall in love.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of pulled you into that, but to give the audience some context, the reason why, because this is actually our third season for the 21st podcast guest. So to me, this is very special. And I felt for this new season, because before I talked to founders from tech companies and other products, like mostly tech. And I thought I want to bring in physical products, like real products, because I'm actually a big fan of making my life and myself feel better. I'm trying your coffee here. I have you my Canva mug. It always says, what
Cheers.
does it say? Cheers. It always seems impossible until it's done. So that's what I got it when I work for Canva. And I'm enjoying your coffee. I'm trying it now for the first time.
Exciting for feedback. You can give honest
Amazing.
feedback.
No, it's great.
It has a little bit of a coconut
What
latte
is that?
hint, right?
Why is that?
Because it has MCT oil and also coconut cream. So what makes a little bit creamier is the coconut cream.
That's amazing. It tastes so smooth because
Yeah,
I drink instant coffee, not all the time, but this is amazing. Wow. Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm actually testing live for the first time. I drink it all the time, your coffee.
But I have to warn you that I usually drink more like this is the limit time to drink because now it's around 4 o'clock for us. But it's more because it lasts longer. I will talk about each ingredient in it and what makes it special in a bit. But just to warn, the reason why it's called Smart Energy, it's because it lasts much longer and it's smoother. So I don't recommend drinking it any later than what we are doing now, because otherwise you might be like hyperactive instead of going to bed.
yeah, it's 4 p.m. now, so usually I try not to drink coffee after 3 p.m., but I make an exception for you. So anyhow, to come back to why we are here today, I'm just very excited about real products in the world. A friend of mine makes as well these matcha drinks, so that's also really, really awesome. So I think that I'm kind of curious about it. And then we started working together, and we usually work with B2B companies, and I was just very excited about your product. I'm into improving myself on different levels, or I try to every day a little bit, getting a little bit better. And then we spoke, and now we're here. So I'm very excited to have you here. So thank you so much for coming. And but before we really start, there's a little warm-up exercise. It only takes 7 seconds. It's gonna be a bit awkward, but everyone has to do it. Do you not
Okay.
want to know what it is?
Yeah, and just for
Yeah.
the record, I was not prepared. So this
Yeah.
is
So it's
let's
seven
see.
seconds fake laughing. So are you ready to fake laugh?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
think this is fake.
Okay. Okay. You can also do real laughing. I think I'm Austrian and we have problems with laughing. So yeah, that's why I started.
We
Okay.
are Brazilians, we don't have.
You don't have to. Okay. Let's start. One, two, three. Oh my God. Okay. That was 7 seconds.
And then I keep going for 14.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, like that's so good. Everything is going well in my business now. I'm very happy. Personally, I guess it depends. But each time I have this podcast when I laugh, I feel like really great. So this is really awesome. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. Okay, let's
Yeah.
dive into the questions. And I think what I'm always very curious about is the personal story of people creating things. I really believe that there is a personal reason why people do that. I think it's also often rooted in childhood, not always, but sometimes, on something that inspired people. I want to know, what is your personal story on why you wanted to create something? I mean, you can do many things and you decided to create something. So what was driving you to do that?
I think for this specific product, it's a lot to do where, because I'm not only Brazilian, but I'm from a part in Brazil where it's one of the biggest producer of coffee beans in Brazil. And as you know, Brazil is one of the biggest exporters of coffee in the world. And it's also a culture where people are very active. People start going to the gym young. I think it's to do with having good weather, with having like the huge coast. So you are often like in bikini, so it's just part of the culture where people really think about how they look and they want to feel good and they want to. And we grow up, especially in this area where I'm from in Brazil, we grow up with coffee in our homes. Since like you can drink coffee as a kid, which sounds really, when you tell people here, they think it's really weird. But I remember drinking coffee as a kid, not as a baby, but pretty young, you start consuming coffee. Maybe you have a little bit more sugar and stuff. But so coffee, it's so engraved, in a lot of
How
us.
would you drink it? Would you be like, you
Just with
hang out with
milk.
your mom and then you make
Yeah.
it, it's like a ceremony together in the family?
Yes, we always make it's at least at my house was always filtered coffee. And we had like this grinder place that was next to our house. So the whole area smelled like coffee beans. So it's really nostalgic for me,
Where
like
is it in
this.
Brazil? Where is it?
It's called Minas Gerais. It's like a
Minas
mining
Gerais.
area, and
Okay.
it's not on the coast, so it's a lot of farms and a lot of, so yeah, it's just like really part of our culture. And then growing up and in this healthy and fitness lifestyle, I moved to London when I was just 20 and starting to hustle in London. I did my degree in London. I was modeling in the beginning. And then I started a company with my best friend who also joined me now for Power Coffee.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing. I met her.
I had a company with Daniela and it was Brazilian swimwear. So it was also tied to Brazil, was also to do with Brazil. And it was all sustainable or either upcycled or recycled, and was like swimwears and kaftans and basically summerwear. And we were producing in Brazil and selling. We started selling in the UK, but this was before Brexit. And for some reason, it got so popular in Scandinavian countries or Germany, or, like it was actually really big in Germany and Netherlands. So we started selling in Zalando. I think you're probably familiar with it. And it was doing well. We were very excited about it, but then COVID and Brexit came and it was pretty hard for us.
You should have
As for
sold in
many,
Australia, because in Australia
we
everyone was
did.
swimming.
Oh, no,
In
in Australia,
yeah,
no, in
yeah,
Australia.
no, in Australia everyone was
Yeah.
swimming for 2 years during COVID. At least I did.
Yeah. But they have amazing swimwear brands in Australia. I think it's like in Brazil, you know.
That's true. I have actually all my shorts are from there. I cannot speak for the bikinis. I haven't worn that many yet. Uh, but I think the swimwear culture is great, and the shorts. Yeah, I love it. And I also recognize what you say, which is this culture on being active, and I experienced it in Australia. Obviously, everyone is on the beach and looking good, but I think that's not the driver. Like, people always think in Austria and Germany that, oh, people are superficial, but that's not the driver why people want to feel fit and good. They actually want to feel good because it feels good to be fit. And then they happen to look that way. And then they're like beautiful on the in and outside. So I think the outside is just an effect of the life that people live.
Yeah, no, now more and more science is proving that, your mental health, it's highly tied to your physical health. So the more you keep moving, the more you're active, the happier you feel. And the happier you feel on how you look, the happier you feel mentally. So it's a lot. And then you're going to produce more, you're going to deliver more, you're going to be more social. So it's a whole snowball of like good results from starting being very active. Yeah, maybe there is a little bit of the superficial side where you just want to be really toned in the summer and really tan, but so with the going back to the swimwear brand, we faced a lot of challenge when Brexit and COVID came. And I decided that I was going to step out of the entrepreneur life. I was like, okay, I want to work for someone. I want a salary, and I'm out because it's too many challenges and stresses, like to have to pay people's salary, to have to worry about like everything. And I was just like, I had this illusion that, okay, now I'm just going to work for someone and it was amazing. I went on that route for almost 2 years. And I got a like good experience. I met a lot of really nice people. I got to travel. It was amazing. But I was really passionate about this product in Brazil because I didn't invent this concept of smart energy coffee. It's huge in Brazil. So I was in love with this product. And every time I was going to Brazil, I was bringing, my suitcase was half of all the brands that they have. Every time a new brand would come up with one, I would bring in my suitcase. Like I would try new flavors. I would give to friends in London. I was like, you have to try this coffee. You have to try. It's amazing for your workout. And what it is, it's basically evolution or an upgrade. I like to say that Brazilians, we take something and we upgrade it, like our language and few other things. So one of the things is like this bulletproof coffee, it was super popular in the US. And this Brazilian guy who started the first smart energy drink in Brazil, he took it to Brazil. There was not even MCT oil available everywhere to buy in Brazil. So I think his first products was done with ghee butter or normal coconut oil. I don't know which one he did first. And then he started studying and adding other ingredients like taurine, L-carnitine, complex B vitamin, and few other ingredients. But the superstar, which is like one of the reasons why I love it, is this low release caffeine. So as the name says, it delivers the caffeine is lower into your bloodstream, which makes it last longer. This is why I was telling you, don't have it later in the afternoon because it might disrupt your sleep.
I'm already feeling it, I have to say.
Yeah, because it gives you that little kick, but it should be like a smooth kick. Then you feel like a little, even your mood improves a little bit. If you have it on empty stomach, you feel even more. So try next time you try. Maybe do it like this is why I also became very popular in Brazil because a lot of people doing intermittent fasting. This helped them to do the fasting for longer because the MCT helps you to feel a little bit fuller. So you don't have that, like desperation for food after you have it. And the slow release caffeine helps you to have a longer lasting energy. So this combination was perfect for people wanting to do fasting for longer hours, longer period. And it became really popular as well as a pre-workout, like a healthier pre-workout alternative. And because of some other ingredients that it also has, it improves the mood as well. And what I've done, so the difference from the products that are available in Brazil now, because there are at least 5 brands that I really like from Brazil, and many of them are doing really well. So what I did, I took this base of products that I was already consuming every day. And I found a lab in the UK and I decided to just change it a little bit to make it a little bit, for example, one of the brands that I really like, they use collagen, but I wanted a vegan product. So I removed the collagen.
Smart.
And then I also wanted, in the UK, people are, at the time I was living full time in London, and in the UK, people were really obsessed with functional mushrooms or adaptogens. So in the US, it's also pretty big, like lion's mane, chaga, tremella. So I have added the mushrooms, which is not part of the concept in Brazil. And this is what made Original Power Coffee different from what we have in Brazil. So I kind of combined these two worlds of functional mushrooms.
It really reminds me of something. bit unrelated. I think this lion's mane and this type of things. It's this German company. It's called Holy.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they doing an excellent job on branding and commercializing functionality in drinks for the wider fitness market. Let's say that. I don't want to say mass market.
I think it's the brand I buy acai from.
Oh, really? Yeah. And
Yeah.
you notice they have this powder you put in the water. It has low carbs and stuff. A friend of mine works there, and I think it's such a great thing that also good for diabetes because it has no sugar. It's such a great thing that now that different things are emerging that help people to get better. Like I don't know about the ingredients, but I think it's great that I can drink coffee and it doesn't have a lot of carbs. I feel good. I actually drink coffee every day. I work out every day in the morning at 7:15, and then I drink coffee before. So I think this is awesome. And I think it's also awesome that there are now alternatives taking these ingredients like lion mane and collagen, and in your case, not collagen, and helping other people to access it on a wide scale. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I
just love
see
it.
a lot of a lot of these products start because of the founder's passion first, like creating a solution for a problem that they have. So in my case, my pain point, the problem that I was having, I didn't want to consume so much caffeine, and we have 100 milligrams of added caffeine. So, and I only
One
need
pack
one.
for one pack.
Yeah, yeah. So when you have like a espresso, sometimes it's like, it depends where you are, but like a lot of places, for example, a very Italian espresso, sometimes you have almost 200 milligrams in one small
How many
espresso, you
coffees
know?
did you use to drink before?
I was always kind of, how would you say, like I was always a little bit responsible, like mindful. I was never disrespectful that I would just have like 4 or 5 coffees a day. I would always try to maximum three. So I always had one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and sometimes when I was really struggling, a third one. But I really wanted to keep, like with power coffee, I just keep one a day. So I wake up, I wait a little bit, I try to wait a little bit. Um, because there is this whole science that when you give your time a little bit, your body a little bit of time to naturally wake up, like 1 hour, 90 minutes, ideally 90 minutes, but I usually wait just 1 hour. And before you have your coffee, you just hydrate, get natural sunlight, and all this helps with your cortisol level, to balance naturally, which later on during the day helps with your melatonin level and everything, which improves your sleep quality. So, we have so much information, and like everything is so connected, like we were saying earlier, that your physical well-being has a great impact on your mental well-being. And then for your mental well-being and your physical well-being, your sleep is also so important. And if you are not mindful of caffeine, you can end up with insomnia and some, or just poor sleep quality, which is also not ideal. If you are working out, you want your body to recover at night. So I was always very curious about all these, and, you know, having one coffee a day just makes me feel good about it. Like, okay, I'm respecting it. I'm having in the time, because when you listen to, I love listening to this guy called Huberman, Andrew
Yes,
Huberman.
yeah,
Yeah, and he always say like, oh, try to have 8 hours before going to bed, like your last cup. So that's not always so realistic, but sometimes it works when I only have one in the morning. Today I left just a little bit here just to have a sip in the afternoon, because I'm gonna have a longer day as I'm traveling later. But it's just like this whole, solving a problem that was for me, that now I can help other people, because I know many friends that they also started saying, wow, I'm not needing that second coffee straight away. Sometimes like I had a downer already in the morning, like I had my coffee at 7 or 8, and then by 10:30 or 11, I needed the second one. So now I just have one power coffee and I'm good, or I'm like finding it a lot easier to do my fasting, or all these feedbacks that I'm like, okay, I'm not solving just my own problem, I'm helping people. And this
yeah,
is where it's like, this is where you're saying, like with the Holy and some other companies, a lot of the times is people finding solutions for themselves, and it happened to help others as well.
I mean, Holy has caffeine is in it as well. I just remember. I mean, what tips do you have for people like myself who drink coffee non-mindfully? Because to me, I feel like almost like, man, am I a bad person? Like I'm drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee. I had to love. I mean, now it's a bit different right now. But when I'm in a okay mood, I drink like just however much I feel like. Even sometimes before going to bed, I have an espresso. I just sleep. But yeah, what tips do you have for people like me who drink more coffee? Should we drink less or to moderate it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like dictate, what you have to.
You can. I mean, why do you tell me what tips you have?
No, but I think like information, like when you keep yourself informed, I think that's the best you can do because, for example, I was using the Whoop, and it tells you about the quality of your sleep. And even when people tell me, oh, yes, I have a coffee and I sleep straight away, I have no problem, but the quality of your sleep it won't be the same. It's the same with a glass of wine or, people like, oh yeah, a glass of wine helps me to sleep. But once you start tracking the quality of your sleep, once you start checking
True.
all the data, you will see that it will impact. So I think it's all about information and, educating yourself. And
Okay.
then the more you know, you're going to probably be more mindful. Doesn't mean that you have to cut completely and you're going to be like, you're
Okay.
going to change from day to night, but you're probably
I'm
just going to be.
gonna I'm gonna take this point now because I'm actually only tracking with some other device. I'm gonna get myself a Whoop or this Aura Ring, and I'm gonna track it, and I'm gonna follow up with you on and my audience on what I learned. Because you're right, probably I'm wrong about it because I stopped drinking 1.5 years ago, or almost 1 year and 9 months. I know a long time ago. I can't remember going to a party drinking. My life became a bit more boring, but I slept much better. And I'm kind of more happier and things. So yeah, I see that. I see that, and now I'm tracking with sleep. It's not good. Also, I think my yeah, I'm how should I say? I'm going through a breakup a couple of month ago, 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago with my partner after 3.5 years, and it has been incredible challenging for me. However, just that my life is so normal without the distractions, alcohol, or maybe even coffee, it just helps me to make the difficult things a bit easier. I mean, obviously it's not easy and it's very hard, but I think just understanding what impacts you, I think is very important. And for example, the mornings that you say, I get up in the morning, and I run to the gym. Like I'm kind of already like stressed. And you remind me of that. So I think I'm trying to design my life now to live a little bit calmer. And that's why I think it's great we're talking because it's like a free consultation for me and everyone else listening.
Little
So yeah,
therapy.
yeah. No, not therapy. It's more like, I think you're raising awareness for the people who want to listen. And I want to listen right now. I didn't want to listen for a long time to my former friend, partner. But yeah, now I see some of the benefits of it because yeah, I think when you're in a anxious or stressful state, it really, really helps. It makes a big difference. But you don't realize when things are well, you just do whatever you like. I think, yeah, you're just on autopilot. But then
You
when
get
you really,
used to, yeah, you get used to being in a state of, it's like people that drink alcohol so frequently and they almost get used to the hangover and they're like, yeah, I don't have a hangover, but it's almost like that's your normal state.
exactly that's it. I mean, the difficult part is really coffee is something I never took away because it's like I love when I lived on the beach in Bondi. You get up in the morning, I go to the gym, I have then coffee with my friends in the sun. I mean, the quality and the feeling of that is like so great. So for me, coffee is like a huge part of my day to day. Now, I think in Berlin or in Vienna or in this colder regions, it's still charming, but it doesn't have the same level of charm because people are not as active. I think the activity and the coffee for me is like one thing. So I'm very happy your product exists. Thank you for creating it, Aline. That's what I want to say.
Welcome. I want to hear your feedback once you have it in the morning and then you go work out. You have to tell me if
Yeah,
you felt a little bit, if
I,
you felt you pushed a bit harder.
I'm gonna replace it. So this is the coffee. I also maybe we can give away some to people to try and give feedback because there's so many here. So thank you for sending it. Yeah, I think 100%, and hopefully we can find other people who tried and give feedback. So yeah, if anyone out there who wants to try it, they should reach out, but we can speak about it later.
Yeah.
So to go-to-market strategy, so we created a product in this secret lab in the UK, and now you have hundreds of thousands of customers. So not yet, but how did you achieve it? And what is your thinking on how you want to go to market? I mean, we worked on some things, but how do you
Yeah.
want to make people aware and advertise?
So the first step, because Brexit made a little bit difficult for all the plans. So the first step, it's UK. We are focused in the UK. We are selling on our website, so direct to customers, and we just launched on Amazon as well. So people in the UK can buy on Amazon. I'm working on having you can order right now if you're in Europe, you can order, but we are testing few things because we are doing the iOSS, which makes things easier for people ordering from Europe where
The
everything is
iOS,
charged.
what is that?
It's basically after Brexit, it's like a one-stop shop, which is so when you buy a product from the UK and you are in Europe, you don't have to pay tax once you receive the product. So the company charges up front and everything is smoother. So it means it takes less time because right now what happens, it can be stopped in customs. So it can take like 4 or 5 days longer and people are not used to waiting anymore. You order something and you want it on your door tomorrow.
Is it part of Amazon or how does it work?
You can do with Amazon as well, but it's independently. You
Okay,
don't
I see.
have to do. Yeah. So
So you have to be approved for that or something like this.
yeah, so it's just a process like registering for VAT or this kind of process,
Okay.
but like bureaucratic
Have you
step that
done
you
it
have to
already? Is it
take.
done?
So we are in the process. We have the
Okay, okay.
accountants working on it, and that's the next step. So to really push Europe, and then once we are solid in Europe, like my ideal, because I really like the Middle East and Dubai, and I think it's a great opportunity market because when I was there last time, I saw a big change. Like the first time I went, which was 5 or 6 years before, compared to last time I went, I saw there was a new gym everywhere, a new yoga studio everywhere. So I think this whole health and fitness and active lifestyle, it's really growing there. And that's the next step. And I have few other products on the pipeline which I'm already starting to develop. I have two other products that I'm thinking about, but I don't want to take like this is slower, like baby steps for the moment. So once I reach these two other milestones, then I will go to the next one. But the strategy, it's to focus growing like a community of like-minded people. Our social media, we just all organically at the moment, like how we're growing our Instagram. So we are partnering with a lot of people there. It's with the same lifestyle, with the same mentality. We have a lot of Brazilians in London, which helps. A lot of people they are already familiar with this concept and they already consume this product. Like I had this girl ordering in the website because she was making all these questions in English. And at some point I was like, she didn't have a Brazilian name. She had like, I don't know, Anna or something, which could be from anywhere. And at some point I was like, are you Brazilian? She was like, how do you know? And I was like, your questions are very familiar to people that consume this product in Brazil. So I know which product you consume and I know how you came here. So I think through the Brazilian community, we have some activation events that we are planning now. It's winter, so it's a little bit more challenging because we want to do a lot of like outdoor get together, but for Women's Day, we are planning an event with the Brazilian community. On end of March, we are planning another event. So that's going to be the strategy to push to grow a community and yes, to focus on using social media as much as we can as our main channel.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. You probably need a lot of content and other things to find the people and meta ads
Yes,
potentially. Yeah.
exactly.
You spoke about your vision for the future already, but what would be in 10 years from now? How would the brand look like?
Wow, funny because in the beginning before launching, I had this 5 years plan, but I did not see like the 10 years
5 years,
plan.
it's fine. You can speak about 5 years, but what would be the ideal outcome for you, like the impact your brand has
Like
on the world?
selling everywhere and helping people everywhere to feel more like performing better, being more active. So that's like basically the core value, like the brand value, which is like to help people. So if we can at least for other markets, like being in the US, being in all over Europe and the Middle East, or who knows, maybe even Brazil, I wouldn't mind. I know there's a lot of brands in Brazil, but we have the functional mushroom. So we are different from the brands there. And it could be, I don't know, I think there is still market in Brazil, even though there are many brands.
But the US would be cool, right? And Canada and North America. Yeah. You will do
Yes,
it
the US.
next year, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awesome. So, is there, before we ask all the questions, I think, but is there anything you want to ask?
Not today. I will ask you in few days after you consume the product few times.
Okay,
What like your feedback? What would you, if there's anything you would change, or how did you feel?
I'm
No,
gonna make
but
a
you
promise that this is gonna be the only coffee I'm gonna drink for the next 7 days. So I'm gonna even bring it to work. We have an espresso machine, and I'm gonna make the promise I will consume it every day, take pictures, and send you a report. Okay? That
amazing.
sounds good.
Yes, that
I'm
sounds
gonna see what's
amazing.
gonna happen to me. I'm gonna send it to you.
Because even I don't drink every single day. Because I do caffeine off on Sundays, just because I love, because then I feel even more on Monday. And on Monday mornings, I fly. Like I just love feeling super productive. And I was listening to this podcast once of a Brazilian doctor talking the benefits of every now and then, just like, because once you have every single day something, it's almost like a dependency. And just to show your body that you are the boss, you are the one. So it's
Okay,
like,
I'm gonna
no,
do the
I'm not
same.
dependent.
I'm gonna
So
do the
I
same.
try.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes if I'm feeling really tired and I have a social event or something, and I'm like, just give me, I'm gonna have it. But I try to do Sundays caffeine off, and I recommend.
Okay, I'm gonna try the same. So I'm gonna drink it every day besides Sunday,
Okay.
and then we can test the impact. And before we end, yeah, I would love for you to tell our audience just like who you are and why they should try your product. So imagine if you speak to 10 million people and you tell them now why they should, who you are and why they should use your product. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So I am Aline. I'm the founder of Original Power Coffee. And the reason why I believe you have to try, it's because I have taken a concept that it's being proven to work super effectively in Brazil. Imagine Brazil is a huge country, it's an active country. It's a country where people work out a lot. And I was obsessed about it. I was hooked. I was a victim of this industry. And I just wanted to bring the best of what I found in Brazil to the UK. And for this reason, after, seeing many studies, seeing many proof concepts in Brazil, I brought it to the UK and now to Europe as well. And I believe you have to try to see it with your own eyes to feel yourself how much more productive you will be, how better your workout will be, and just how much more focus you're going to have. So if you are a busy entrepreneur, or if you just want to, sometimes you're feeling a little bit lazy and you want to hit the gym a little, push a little bit harder, or some days you just, feel a little bit lower, maybe because of the weather or something, and you need more extra, like better energy, smarter energy, trust me.
Thank you so much for coming here today.